Let's take a moment to talk about one of your favorite topics as an online student, the quizzes. Mark Twain once said, "I have never let my schooling interfere with my education." This approach is somewhat what I'm going to be bringing into our quizzes during this class. To take a look at what we're going to be discussing, the first thing I want to talk about is traditional quiz taking. It's kind of a binary approach. Then we're going to talk about how critical thinking is truly a spectrum. Finally, how I'm doing quizzes in this class, and then the outcome that we want from taking quizzes in this format. The traditional approach for quiz taking is you find the right answer and then the rest are wrong answers. This gives the impression that in life we encounter a right answer and anything that doesn't agree with it is wrong. That's not truly how the world works. In fact, finding just the right answer may not work in communication, because in communication you can do the right thing at the right time, saying the right way to the right person, and get the answer you don't want. So the traditional approach doesn't necessarily always work in communication. If you really want to take a normal quiz, what you run into is this. Normally, you can approach it by finding the really bad answers and eliminating those. Usually there's two of those. And in most quizzes, that gives you now a 50-50 chance of getting the right answer. That's not promoting critical thinking. That's promoting how to eliminate and take a test. That's not what I want to do. And the binary approach, as I mentioned, is right answer, wrong answer. Well, we want more of how do we view a spectrum. In the real world, we actually have a spectrum of answers. Most things are not right and wrong. In fact, there will be different degrees. The natural world is a spectrum where you can gain different perspectives based on the situation, your experiences, your relationships. And those factors actually create a different view of the same communication problem. And that's what we really want to kind of capture in the quizzes, is critical thinking. Because in communication, you can give the right answer at the right time to the right person and still end up with the results you don't want. So for communication, critical thinking is very important. So how are the quizzes different in this class? Well, I'm instead attempting to take you around that spectrum and have you look at answers based on what is the best response for the situation. And that best response is being determined by academics, the textbook, and a general point of view, a common point of view, if you will. Now, if by chance you select one that doesn't give you the most points, it's not what is the best answer, talk to me. Tell me what experiences, what relationships, and other aspects that factor into your answer, and I'm willing to give you those points, because my goal is not right and wrong, it's the best answer for you. So as you do this, hopefully you're going to start developing some of those critical thinking skills. The outcome is that you get practice with those critical thinking skills, that you're able to actually look at something, look at a communication problem, and come up with actual solid critical thinking to explore the perspectives. And this will also help you understand the dynamic nature, the ever-changing nature of communication. That yes, you have to communicate differently with your friends than you do with your parents, or with a coworker than you do someone you just meet. So the outcome is that you get critical thinking practice. What we talked about is traditional binary quizzes that we don't do in this class. We looked at the spectrum and the nature of critical thinking. We talked about how we will do the best answer quizzes in this class and what I'm truly hoping to accomplish through these quizzes. The function of education is to teach one to think intensely and to think critically. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of education, by Martin Luther King.